here we are. Now we're streaming. Sorry about the little delay. Unacceptable, I quit. Yeah, I figured. I figured it would be unacceptable. I was tied up on a phone call, interestingly enough, talking about baseball. Talking about an event in which I am not what am I? I essentially run the PowerPoint, which my client insists is a video, but it's just a PowerPoint because he doesn't really understand technology. But it's an event that is for a charity that I work every year, and when I say it's an event for charity that I work every year, actually I donate my time during that event. Throughout the year I get paid doing other things, but I donate my time at that event. But it's an event in which for charity, for scholarships, and it's a pretty nice event. And baseball players come out and donate their time too with the kids, and so it's a good time. But I was talking about the people who are going to be at the event this year, and there is no certain there's no headliner yet. So I was tied up on that, doing updates to that website, doing updates to their payment forms, and then next thing you know, it's 7 minutes after 7, and I'm like, man, I gotta go. After I just updated our stream, or our channel here on Twitch with the stream schedule. Does he advertise said event on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube? I'll headline, I play wiffle ball. It's the event is, I advertise it. I don't know. It's a weird event. It's like it's open, but it's also closed to the public. It's a really strange setup that we have for this event. Yeah, it's strange. I don't quite understand it. We sell tickets online, but really it's not open to the public because there's only so many spots and all this kind of stuff. It's weird. It's weird. It's kind of like a select group of people that go every year that are big dollar donors and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, like I said, it's all for that's YouTube's. It's all for charity. So, anyway, I digress. We are here, YouTubes. We pluralize YouTubes. It's like when people pluralize Walmart. I'm going down there to the Walmarts. I remember when Walmart opened in my town. Actually, the one town over when I was growing up, because we didn't have Walmart until I was like almost, I don't know, like 7th grade, maybe something like that. We got it late, and I just remember the kids at the bus stop talking, yo man, you gotta go down to the Walmarts. They got all types of stuff up there at the Walmarts. And then you go and you just see rednecks riding bicycles through the store. It's just pandemonium. Any hoozle. So we are here on day 2 of our tournament. And day 2 of the second leg of the Cheese League Baseball 2023 tournament. Of course, as a recap, the Brie Boomerangs won the first 8-team tournament, and we are in the second leg, the second 8-team tournament. First things first, we saw the Gorgonzola Gothams win over, let's take a look at the detailed bracket, win 3-0 over the Manchego Mechanics. And then in the second game, last night, we saw the Edam Emeralds win 2-1 over the Pepperjack Pipers. And if I do recall, I think that game was like a one-hitter. It was a pretty good game. Right now, we're going to watch the Cheddar Cherubs. Actually, we're going to watch Cheddar Cherubs face off against the Gouda Giants, and then we'll see the Gruyere Gamblers against the Swiss Cheese Spiders. Let's watch this game. Let's see. We got Charlie Kent and Hal Rivers. All right, folks. We got Hal Rivers. Phillies destroyed. Yeah, I'll get into. I'll do the rundown of the league and all the scores and stuff when we get there. But yeah, good on the Phillies today. Hal Rivers is our first S or superstar rated player in all of Cheese League Baseball, so let's see how he does. And the Gouda Giants are home, so that means that we're going to be at the Bengata Bowl, and yes, we are. Bengata Bowl is very even dimensions all the way around. Turf field, it is, I feel like it plays kind of small, so we'll see what happens as we get a look at the lineups. And the Giants take the field. Let's go Giants, yes. I'm sure Gary the Gigantopithecus, their mascot, is out there in the crowd. Wilbur Piazza looks at a ball inside from Hal Rivers. And that looked like a good pitch, and that's ball 2. Piazza, the contact and speed guy, the center fielder here for the Cherubs. Hal Rivers, let's talk about him for a moment, as that one's fouled away. Sports four-seamer, cutter, slider, changeup, and curveball in his arsenal, and down goes Piazza. Casey Giles steps in, another contact and speed guy, outfielder for the Cherubs. I definitely like Cherubs jerseys. I get like major league feel. As that one is into center field for a base hit. So the Cherubs get a base runner, and we have Kaylee Esquivel step in, power hitting right fielder. Fouls that one off. Rivers, of course, has the K-Man stat. We'll see if that comes into play. And look at that, a little unassisted double play to end the top of the first. So we're going to look at Charlie Kent out on the bump here as the Giants left fielder Nick Allen steps in, facing off against Kent. Four-seamer, two-seamer, slider, and the curveball for Kent. Slow roller back to her, and out number 1. Lennon Castaneda. He's one of those big, I believe, A-rated big bats here, second baseman. The Phillies were on Peacock today. Yeah, I saw that. I was kind of annoyed when I saw that they were on Peacock today. So bizarre. That's a base hit up the middle for Castaneda. So the Giants get a base runner. Wheels says that Nick Swisher was announcing. It was surreal. He's a character. Nick Swisher is one of the greatest ball players. He is just he's a cartoon character come to life. So animated. He played for the Yankees for some time. Yeah, he's great ball player. Definitely, I can see him being a lot of fun in the booth. 2-2 now on Goldie Cooper. Lions to Johns and to Will Wyatt Moore, rather, for the 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Cherubs. And look at that. It'll be Lions to start it off here against Hal Rivers. Nick Swisher was a fun guy to watch. I think before Isaiah Kiner-Falefa the other day pitched, position player pitching for the Yankees as they were getting blown out by the Twins. It's a little slow roller to Castaneda for out number 1. I think Nick Swisher was the last Yankees position player to pitch. That was lots of fun to watch him pitch. Wyatt Moore, the power hitting first baseman for the Cherubs, steps in. And down on strikes, he goes 102 miles an hour on the gun from Hal Rivers. Bern Garnett, the catcher, steps in. He's hysterical. Watched the Ridiculousness show on MTV with him. Great sense about humor about himself. Yes, he is. Down on strikes he goes. Quick top half of the second. 4, 5, and 6 also due up for the Giants. Yeah, he's definitely, I think he was on like Impractical Jokers and stuff too. I have a feeling. But yeah, he's a good dude. Ruddy O'Neal steps in. Power bat first baseman for the Gouda Giants. And again, back to Kent. And we've seen some pitchers duels here in the early goings of this 8-team tournament as Todd Fleep steps up, the shortstop. And 2-0. And swinging through that. Got a nice little view there, quick view of the Bengata Bowl. There's lots of foul territory here. And good eye. Draw the walk. That brings up Palacios. And runner on first. Bottom of the second. 1 out here. Ball inside. 1 and 2. If you missed our last broadcast, folks, go over to our YouTube channel and check it out. Palacios just kind of waved at that one. That brings up Villarreal, the right fielder, number 7 hitter. And that one, ooh, Banks. A diving stop and a hot corner for out number 3. Bottom third of the lineup due up now for the Cheddar Cherubs. That one is fouled away. Arthur Johns, power hitting shortstop. You actually don't really see too many power hitting shortstops. I guess the last one was probably A-Rod. 1 and 2, and down on strikes he goes. 99 on the gun there. Down and inside, kind of tied him up a little bit. I'll bring up Colombo. The DH with not a lot of contact, but if she does make contact, it's going to go far. She's got a big power number there. Down on strike she goes. And now Elena Banks, third baseman. To Castaneda for the final out of the inning. Pretty quiet game thus far, folks. 8-9-1 due up for the home team. Sort of a packed crowd here at the Bengata Bowl.
The center fielder, number 21.
And that one is fouled away. In the dirt, swinging strike. They throw down to first. Put out. Here's Leandro Vatsamachia. Ben says hi. Hey, Ben. Vatsamachia, like Saltalamachia. Used to be that was a great baseball name. Early 2000s, I want to say Royals, maybe? Royals or Tigers? Saltalamachia. It's kind of a journeyman, actually, now I think about it. Down on strikes he goes. Vatsamachia, and I'll bring up the top of the order. Mix Allen, who's 0 for 1. Yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity to shout out to John, one of our faithful YouTube followers. Shouting out. Always comes back for the views of the games. Appreciate the love on Facebook. Down on strikes he goes. Man, we got goose eggs all around here. Top of the order due up to Wilbur Piazza. A pitcher's duel brewing that I honestly did not expect. To be honest, I thought Hal Rivers would be a little more lights out than this. But he's, I mean, his stats are just off the charts. He's locked in. Look at his velocity junk accuracy. They're all above his baseline, and that strike out right there. Thought he would be just like, I thought it'd be like sit down, sit down, sit down, but I guess it has been, but you know. Ooh, off of glove of the third baseman there. So a base runner for the Cherubs. Very, very good speed on the base paths. Rivers, of course, the southpaw. He risks stealing. Maybe with a lefty up, I would risk stealing. Down on strike she goes. Now it might be a good time to steal. Maybe. There's 2 miles. Yeah, there's 2 outs. Elliott Line steps in. Over 1. See, told you. Good steal. Chat also shouting out to our YouTube followers. So there you see the steal. Down on strike she goes. So the reason I said I would go there rather with the righty up, I wouldn't have went. But with the lefty, I would, is because the lefty, obviously, the catcher is throwing righty. So catcher has to kind of throw around the guy in the lefty in the batter's box. Makes it a little more difficult. So it's a little bit short of a steal. Just a little breakdown, a little baseball breakdown for you. Goldie Cooper steps in, 0-for-1. Charlie Kent looking locked in out there. 51 pitches here in the bottom of the 4th. Still nothing, folks. I listened to a lot of baseball on the radio today, so this is a radio Commissioner Greg voice right now. Ruddy O'Neal steps in. And looks at a ball inside. I appreciate baseball on the radio so much. Down on strikes, man. You know what? Kent's making some, swift work of this Giants team, and this series, spoiler, I guess. Maybe not a spoiler. This is not a spoiler situation, but that's a base hit up the middle. So 2 on now, 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th for the Giants. They're threatening. That brings up Palacios, who's 0-for-1. In my breakdown video on our YouTube page of all these teams, I felt like this series, out of all of them, was probably the most balanced, and that's out number 3, so they strand 2 runners. I feel like this is probably going to go to 7 games. I feel like these two teams, I feel like, are so closely matched, more so than any other team in this in the tourney. Wyatt Moore now stepping in, skies that one out to left field, almost hits a drone, and it's a can of corn though for Nick Allen. Alright, Wheel says, I saw a video on TikTok yesterday of a softball game where they were unhappy with the ump, so the pitcher threw a strike. The catcher deliberately moved so it hit the ump in the face mask. Oh my god, that's awful. What? Okay. So, let's break down that scenario. That's hit to Goldie Cooper for out. Which is good range there, Goldie Cooper. And Arthur John steps in, 0-for-1. So let's break that down. So the pitcher and the catcher conspired. The catcher moved the glove so it hit the ump in the mask. One, that is extremely dangerous. But beamed straight to the forehead and walked off. Yeah, that's not good. And down on strikes. So, no idea how it ended or what the consequences are. Yeah, I mean, that team would probably be forfeit the rest of their season. Was it a college softball game, or was it a high? Because that sounds very much like a high school or a traveling baseball team or traveling softball team. Ooh, all right. Banks knocks it down, but there's a base runner as Ernie Fervor steps in. Base runner, no outs here, bottom of the 5th, and kind of for the first time, the Giants feel like they're threatening. Ooh. Brush them back off the plate. So the reason I say it could have been college, but it had a high school, a traveling team. Yeah, probably. I'm betting it's probably a high school. Most likely, I would say probably a traveling team kind of thing, because those traveling teams, as they get the out at first, runner moves up though. And Vatamakia steps in. All right, Kent is pulled. We're going to have Ponch Jennings come in. Lefty. And I do believe the best pitcher in this Cherubs bullpen. Yeah, so the reason I say traveling teams, because those traveling teams are typically the best of the best, the cream of the crop kids, and they often have a chip on their shoulder, and the coaches themselves often have chips on their shoulders, and that feels like a coach, not a coach directed thing. I'm not going to say that the coach directed this. However, the culture that the coach has built allowed for that to happen. And Mule's just texted to me. And that brings up Allen. And the top of the lineup here for the Giants with a runner in scoring position. Could they make something happen? That one is jacked high and far and is carrying, but its warning track, actually just in front of the warning track power, kind of died in the dome here as out number 3. Let me check out this video, folks.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 6.
Back to Rivers, out number 1.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 55.
That is 100% some type of traveling team. That's a strikeout. 100% some type of traveling team.
Number 16.
And 100% directed by that coach. Now that I see the video, maybe not directed by that coach, influenced heavily by that coach, because in the video, that's a wild video. In the video, there is down on strikes. In the video, the coach, there's a very, very good pitch that was called a ball that allowed a run to score. The bases were loaded. Then a mound visit from the coach, and then the catcher moves and the ump gets hit. Now, what's scary about that is the Castaneda's having a good game, by the way, just 2 for 2. Now 2 for 3. Scary thing about that is the catcher moves like very quick, so there's no telling where that ball was going. That's a gapper all the way to the wall, and it is a stand-up double. A 1-out double here for the Giants, and that brings up Ruddy O'Neal. So the catcher has no clue where that ball is going. The pitcher has no clue where that ball is going. It's going somewhere over the plate. The fact that she moves out of the way, that could have hit the ump in the, they have chest protectors, and they have gear and everything. They have throat guards. That's a striking out number 2. As Fleep steps in, he's 1 for 1, single, no walk. That could have hit him squarely in the chest. Softball is 46 feet away. Those girls hurl it, as fast, some of them, as fast as 80 miles an hour, 70, well, maybe 70 miles an hour. And into right field. They're playing shallow, so the run can't score. It's on the corners now for Palacios. And the Giants are threatening here. A base hit will score that run. So there's no telling where that ball goes. To me, it looks like it's a traveling, kind of like a traveling team. Younger kids, probably in their teens, like high school age. So probably not throwing that fast, honestly. Maybe maybe in the 60s, but nonetheless, that's 46 feet away. A 60-mile-an-hour pitch hits you. That one is jacked foul. But put it there again, Hal Rivers, who is 71 pitches. So Castaneda, this is out number 1. Yeah, so there's no telling where that ball's going. It hits the ump squarely in the mask in the video. And then he walks off, and actually the end of the video, you can see one of the base umps comes over and they make the team. What's happening there at the end of the video is they're making the team forfeit the game, pretty much. That's what's going on. Or if not forfeit the game, the pitcher was getting tossed for sure. I think it's more like forfeit the game because you can't toss the pitcher without tossing the catcher who conspired and everything. And also the, again, the coach that allowed that culture to happen. Down on strikes. And 1-mile-an-hour changeup from Hal Rivers. It's 0-0, folks. Bottom of the 7th we go. Bottom third of the lineup. Let's see if the Gouda Giants can come back and win this game. Of course, we only play 7 innings now. And that sneaks through. So they get a base runner to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Wheel says, I think I saw something that said it ended the game, but didn't say in what way. Oh no, they were definitely told that they forfeit the rest of that game. All right, good little digging there. Base running, so you get into second. They can only get the sure out at first, so runner on second rather now in scoring position with 1 out. Vatamakia up, and then top of the order. 100% they were asked to, that was it. It was done. They were forfeited. That team probably got kicked out of the league, honestly, for some Bush League stuff like that. If I was the umpire, I would 100% call a meeting with the league officials, and that's exactly what I would do. And they're gonna they're gonna intentionally walk Allen here, who's 0 for 3. Of course, he's the big power hitter. I've seen games be forfeited because of crappy behavior from players. Again, that was directed by coaches. I've seen it happen in playoffs, in all-star games especially. I have a nasty story. Story about that. 1 and 2 on Castaneda. Down on strikes, and we get some bonus fake baseball, folks. Extra innings. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Cherubs. Somebody's looking to get a run on the board as Wyatt Moore steps up. I was at an all-star game as a spectator because I used to, in my hometown, I used to follow their all-stars, and because I knew a lot of the kids in the families, and my dad and I would go to the games and yada yada. Little swinging bunt down the foul, down the third baseline foul. Hal Rivers still out there, by the way, just pounding away. Garrett, rather. I'm sorry. Sorry to the Garrett family. All right, Rivers is now in the red, on fire, but in the red. I think this will probably be his last batter. That one's fouled away. 1 and 2 on Garrett. And now 2 and 2. So down on strikes he goes. And in steps Johns. All right, here comes the pitching change. Evelyn Hoffman, the closer, coming in. Of course, not in a closing situation, but a little submariner too is Hoffman. Went to an all-star game, and the parents were yelling and screaming so bad at the umps over this Little League All-Star game. It was getting so vicious and so raucous that the umpire actually threw out parents from the game. I remember sitting there. It got like almost to the point of like fisticuffs. Down on strikes. They strand a runner. Bottom of the 8th. Can the 3, 4, and 5 hitters do it for the Giants? We shall see. Cooper's 1 for 3 with a double. Yeah, it got so bad that like it was almost coming to blows, and the ump just stopped the game, and he like threw parents out of the stands. He's, you know, I don't think a coach may have been ejected, but I can't be certain. I definitely remember parents, because I even said to my dad at that point, I was like, yeah, well, this is getting a little wild. Should we just leave? No, it's a hard hit. Actually might be one of the hardest hit balls we saw all day here. That brings up Philippe, who's having a good day. 2 for 2, 2 singles and a walk. Big pressure situation here. You do not have good speed on first base, though. And why are you running? That was a hit and run, missed opportunity, and that's a base hit. You could have just had a base hit up the middle, just like that. Runners on first and second, but now you got a runner on first, only with 2 outs, and Palacios up, who's over. But people take that stuff way too serious, and that's the one thing these traveling teams are, you know, they're different than your Little League All-Stars in some senses. Little League All-Stars technically, or traditionally, have been, you know, the best players in your Little League system. The traveling teams are, you pay and you go travel and you pay this elite fee, you know, that's a base hit into right field. Pay a fee to play in these tournaments. You pay a fee for everything. You got kids with the best DeMarini bats and the best, you know, it's a money game. That's all those tournament teams are. They're just money rackets. They're money games. Ooh, nice little, it's that curveball action from Hoffman. And they are, yeah, they're just, I have friends who kids play in these teams, and it really is, it sucks the life and the dollar bills out of the parents' pockets. Do the kids play good baseball? Do they play competitive baseball? Absolutely. Do the kids learn bad habits from some of these other teams? Absolutely. That is jacked and is gonna be gone. And that 3-run dinger are the first 3 runs of the ball game. 386-foot shot for Giles, his first homer and 3rd RBI of this tournament. And just like that, folks, the Cherubs open this up. Hoffman gives up the 3-run jack into the bullpen in left field as Escobar swings at a high strike 1 and 2. No outs again here, folks. No outs. Ooh, that looked like a good pitch. Grooved in there by Hoffman. Got her, though. Inside. Elliot Lyons steps in 0 for 3. I mean, famously, Bryce Harper was one of those kids that played on these traveling ball teams. I mean, a lot of major leaguers, you know, played on these traveling teams, but I know stories, family friends, their kids played on a traveling team in a tournament, national tournament against Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper's team lost. His dad was like freaking out at the kids afterward, you know, like I've heard, and it's not just him, but that's common in those types of things. And that's not what it's about. You can play, you can be competitive. Just don't ruin it for the kids, you know. Honestly, when I coached the little bit that I did coach back in the day, the parents were the ones that ruined it 9 times out of 10. It was very rarely was it the kids, it was the parents. And in the event that it was the kids, it was because the parents really, really had that influence over them. So that's crazy. That video really annoys me. That annoys the hell out of me. Down on strikes, down to their final out. The Buda Giants just haven't been able to string together enough hits to make a dent here. And this should do it. 2 Lions out number 3, and that is it, folks. That's the ball game. The Cheddar Cherubs win the first game in this set. Let's take a look at the lines. 3-5-0 to 0-9-0. We did it in 9 innings. And honestly, the difference maker was that 3-run dinger from Giles, who had a 3-for-4 day. Fleep had a 3-for-3 day, and Castaneda had a 2-for-4 day. Not a whole lot of hitting. As you can see, Hal Rivers... Okay, Hal Rivers quietly had 14 strikeouts. I was not paying attention enough. 14 freaking strikeouts. That's disgusting. Yeah, that's absolutely disgusting. But he gets a no decision. Hoffman gets the loss here, and Drummond gets the win. Kent also gets the no decision, and Rivers just, wow. He's living up to that superstar rating, but it is the Cheddar Cherubs who are triumphant in the end. Wheels says those are the parents who think the other kids are ruining their child's shot at the major leagues. Yes, absolutely. It's like, dude, your kid is playing in some Bumble Backwood tournament that's probably not going to mean anything. It might mean something to your kid right now. It might mean something to you right now as a parent for whatever reason. Just don't put that on your kids. Just I used to hate that. I used to absolutely hate that. All right, folks. Well, that is how the first game we're gonna watch tonight ends up. We're gonna go to the Gruyere Gamblers versus the Swiss Cheese Spiders now. Spiders, of course, are the #1 seed in this leg of the tournament. We got Peralta versus Armstrong at Socorro Hills, home of the Spiders. I don't think Socorro Hills is the deepest. Shaka Sports Turf is the deepest. I think that is the deepest ballpark. Wheels said, my apologies to Giants fans for backing them, which is true. It is the curse of Wheels. Any team that he likes ends up just being terrible. Nah, game's good. I predict that series between the Cherubs and the Giants will go to 7 games. All right, Espinosa in the third baseman, leading it off here for the Gamblers, and works a full count from Rod Armstrong, the ace of the Spider staff. Down on strikes it goes. And Wade Crush steps in now, playing first today. Armstrong, 4-seamer, slider, curveball, changeup. Obviously more of a junk pitcher with that pitch arsenal, but is kind of an accuracy guy. I'm going to skide out to center field. And Elliott calls off everyone. And that is out number 2. Here comes Crush Thompson, the right fielder, big power hitting right fielder for these Gamblers. And that one's fouled down the line. All right, Wheels is taking the Spiders. And he bets if they lose. 2-2 on Crush, and he fouls that one back. 2-2 again. And that one is hit quite well. It's going to get to the wall. It'll be a stand-up double for sure. Thought about going for 3 maybe. Made that big turn. All right, but the Gamblers have a base runner in scoring position. Here's Izzy Shepard. And this is hit to Kleintop for out number 3. So they strand that runner in scoring position. We got top of the order for the Spiders. Facing off against Peralta. And that's a hard hit ball. And Cordova. 1 pitch. And 1 out. Starry Kleintop steps in. Peralta, 4-seamer, 2-seamer, cutter, and a slider, and that is quickly 2 outs. And Peralta's more velocity pitcher, obviously more of a Jesus, don't put it there again. Turned on that one to Gusto Singleton, the DH. Peralta's more of a fastballer. Obviously, he'll mix in that slider. That one's fouled down the line. into no man's land. And, ooh, nice little... Got another Crush out there. We get a guy with the last name of Crush. We'll see who that is when they come up. And in steps Ruben Carter. Crush. He could have been part of the Bash Brothers. You know, Jose Canseco and that other Mick, whatever his name is. Oh, Mark McGuire, Big Mac. I heard a good story, a good conversation, I guess. It was on John Boy about that one's 6-3 put out. As Homer Lane steps in the center fielder for the Gamblers. It was a good conversation they had today about the Fernando Tatis and how he took some... Said he took some medication for ringworm or something like that, and ended up coming up as a PED thing, and yada yada yada. And it was an interesting conversation, but that does tarnish a guy's reputation. You know, even if he was being truthful, he will always have that reputation then of being a PED user. A hot shot to Davila, and across the diamond, out number 3. Olio, Davila, and Elliott coming up 4, 5, and 6 for the home team. Peralta's really a no-frills pitcher. Kind of like that style, and that's a base hit up the middle. Let's go around the baseball league, the Major League Baseball League, and give you guys updates on the scores. As Tim Davila steps in, the third baseman. A nice head of hair on him. The Yankees lost today 5-1 against the Blue Jays. Clark Schmidt, from all accounts, pitched okay, and the Yankees needed that. The Phillies beat up on the Rockies 9-3, which is fantastic. Down on strikes he goes. That brings up Elliott, another guy with luscious locks. 1 out runner on first. And that one is into right field. Thompson is there for the second out of the inning. And now here comes a Killer Holmes. I didn't realize his name was Killer. Oh, that's amazing. That is jacked and is gone into the Gamblers bullpen. Killer Holmes. Killer crushed it. 442-foot jack. First homer, second RBI of the tourney. And the Spiders take the 2-0 lead as Marcel Barnswaddle steps in. Look at that. Thank you, Girly Man, for the sub. Appreciate that. Homer Lane steps up. And there's pop out, but the Spiders get 2 runs on the Jack-a-Rooney from Killer Holmes. Yes, I agree. Ads are definitely annoying. And ooh, off the glove, Klein, he knocked it down, but no chance there. There's a Christian Plows. Runner on first, no outs, top of the third. The Swiss Cheese Spiders leading it over the Greer Gamblers. And got him high and outside. It looked like a changeup or something. Espinosa steps in, top of the order now, and he's over. Love it. Thank you, Girly Man. That is your 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. Girly Man is a legend. I agree. Hashtag legend. Hashtag agree. Hashtag. Beans Klein. There's some ridiculous names in this stretch of the. You know, the first 8-team tourney that we did not have nearly as fun names as this second crop of teams. Mama Loot is here somewhere. Of course she is. Mama Loot is always here. Severus Cordova. There's Mama Loot in the chat. That is a base hit down the left field line. That's going to be a two-bagger for sure. And a stand-up double for Cordova. Here in the bottom of the third, that brings up Starry Kleintop. All right, the Spiders' bats are coming alive. And that is fouled away. Look at Girly Man just gifting all types of things. Appreciate that. That one's a little dying quail into the outfield. And they thought about going home, but did not. So runners at the corners. Runners at the corners for Gusto Singleton, the big power hitting DH. Runner goes to second. Oh my God. Ventura couldn't dig it out of the dirt. Probably would have had him. And walks the bases loaded. All right, so lots happening here. Here's Olio. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Likes those low pitches. Bases juiced. Ducks on the pond here, as Red Barber would say. Bottom of the third. Let's go Spiders. Yeah, Wheels is really getting behind these Spiders, as that is a as we say that, that's a strikeout. And they could leave the bases loaded. All right, Davila steps in. No, he jacks that one. Is that going to get over? Oh no, just missed a grand salami, but it is going to be a bases clearing double for the Spiders. They now lead it 5-0 over top of the Grayer Gamblers. And I may have written the Spiders off in my preview video on our YouTube page, which again, go check out, please. May have written them off, but maybe they're the real thing. Maybe there is a reason why they're the #1 seed. Bats are coming alive. 1 and 2 on Elliott. 2 outs, 1 on, and a full count. Peralta struggling out there on the mound. That one sneaks through somehow. Everyone is safe. And again, runners on the corners. Killer Holmes back up to the dish. And yeah, no surprise here. Peralta's pulled. And Carter. And Holmes beats it out. Killer Holmes is doing it all over the base paths. Digs it out, legs out the single, the infield single. The run scores 6-0 now. Spiders over the Gamblers. And here's Barnswoggle with 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the third. This is a heck of a game here, folks. Down on strikes he goes. They put up a 4 spot, though, in the bottom of the third. And leading it. So we got Wig Crush stepping in. There's the Crush guy. He's the first baseman. So Armstrong has the big lead now. Let's see if he can shut down the Gamblers for the rest of this game. Down on strikes. He's got a nice little handlebar, kind of a Raleigh Fingers mustache too. Here's Crush Thompson. He's 1 for 1 with a double. I'm gonna start naming old ball players. Raleigh Fingers. Great handlebar mustache. Let's talk about some teams. Let's go around the major leagues. As I was doing that, until things got very exciting. As what was that? Thompson has walked. Could have been an unintentional intentional walk right there. Here's Izzy Shepard, 0 for 1. For a big guy, Thompson actually runs quite well. And now, okay. Thought they were going to try for the double play, but Cordova smartly takes it himself. Runner goes to second, but there are 2 outs. That's a base hit through the right side. Okay, they're coming home. Testing Barnswoggle's arm. And the run scores. The Gamblers on the board. 6-1 now. That brings up Homer Lane. All right, here's that situation I was talking about earlier. You got a guy on first. Got 2 outs. You don't have to steal, but you got with the stealer trait up there. A righty in the box. it would be easier to steal and try to throw around the lefty batter at the plate. So that's why I wouldn't go, although they are going. Oh, yeah. 2 strikes. 2 strikes, 2 outs, you know. Why not go at that point? All right. Beans, Klein. So the Gamblers get a run. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Klein steps in. Hale in from the bullpen, of course, to face off against this Spiders lineup. All right, the Mets 2-1. The San Francisco Giants over the New York Mets in the 3rd inning. The Orioles won over the Tigers. The Orioles are 14-7, are quietly putting together a nice little stretch here. That one is hard hit. A little worm burner up the middle to Lane at the center field. It was a hard hit grounder. Hold it to a single. Starry Kleintop steps in now. 1 on, 1 out. Speaking of teams who are having an excellent run, the Pittsburgh Pirates are 16-7, and they won 2-0 over the Reds. The Pirates now have the second best, I believe, the second best. Oh my God, the second best record. Jesus, I just totally zoned out there. Had an out-of-body experience there for a moment. Second best record in the majors. Kleintop jacks this one high, and it's not going to get to the warning track. It's just a can of corn. The Braves fall to the Astros 5-2. The Rays just keep winning. They're now 19-3, and that one is hit. Go right to Plows for out number 3. 7, 8, 9, bottom third of the lineup, 2 up for the Gamblers here. Armstrong still out on the bump. The Rays win 4-1 over the White Sox. Hello, White Sox. When are you going to get your shit together? It's been a rough couple of years. Marlins lose to the Guardians 7-4. Guardians are 11-11, but don't count them out. I think they're going to be right there at the end. The Guardians have a really good team, guys. Twins have a really good team as well. They won 3-1 over the Nationals. The Red Sox won 12-5 over the Brewers, who the Brewers also have a really good team. Everyone was picking the Brewers to win and to go all the way last year, but they didn't. Got 2 outs now. Christian Plows, the left fielder, up for the Gamblers. Fouls that one away. Armstrong's 65th pitch coming, looking locked in out there. He's pretty comfortable, and down goes Plows. Bottom of the 5th we go. Heart of the lineup due up for the Spiders. Let's see where we leave off. We have Dodgers win 7-3 over the Cubs. Dodgers, I feel like, have been disappointing this year. The Rangers might be a real baseball team. They win 5-2 over the A's. The poor Oakland Athletics. The Angels, and this is a little dribbler to Ventura. For the out, Davila steps in 1 for 2, double, 3 RBIs for him. That bases clearing double. Having himself a good game. The let's see, the Angels 4-3 win over the Royals. Padres win 7-5 over the D-backs. And the Cardinals 7-3, they win over the Seattle Mariners. And speaking of Seattle teams, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Seattle hockey team, as Elliott pops this one up down the line, but no chance. 0-2. And down at strikes goes Hale. Let's give credit where credit's due. Hale comes out of the Greer bullpen and is doing some work. So good on Hale. Aiden Espinosa steps in. For the Gamblers here at top of the 6th, they still trail the Spiders 6-1. The Seattle Kraken, they lose their 3rd playoff game, so now they're trailing in that series. And that one just kind of died out there. 1-2 now on Espinoza. And fouled away. 1-2 again. And down on strikes. Big curve. Frozen. Steps away, crush over 2. They lost. There's the breakdown that I wanted to see. Here we go. Yeah, so the Seattle Kraken, the preferred hockey club here of the Geek Cheese family. Geek Cheese family of programs. That one is jacked. It's hit very hard, but all right, Elliott just takes. See what you do, kids? You just take that little drop step, get your bearings, goes back on it just a couple of steps, and right there he was. And if you asked me to do that in a game, I would not be able to do that because I hated playing the outfield. Wheel says, such a rough game last night. Yeah, so it looked good. It looked good. Who was it? Schultz? No, Schwartz, I think, maybe? Had the first goal. As Killer Holmes steps in. Yo, if I ever rap, if I ever become a white rapper, Killer Holmes might be my name. 3-1 on Holmes. Fouls that one away. And the full count. Hale in the red now. Now off the end of the bat. Out number 1. It looks pretty good. It was promising. The first period. You know, as soon as Colorado gave up that... as soon as Colorado got that second goal, I was like, oh man, it's going to be one of those games. This will be Hale's last batter, by the way, folks. She's in the red now. Probably going to walk Barnswoggle. I feel like a walk is coming. Ooh, a strikeout. High and inside. All right, Beans Klein steps in. Let's see who the pitching change is going to. All right, Nico Zarfa. Zarfa is an A+ rated pitcher here for the Gamblers. So this is your best pitcher out of the bullpen for your Gamblers fans. And 0-2 is Klein. Popped up. Can of corn again. Mama Lute says she's still hurting from last night's game. Yeah. It was ugly. All right, the Spiders looking to close this one out. Armstrong looking to get the complete game. All right, it's Klein's up. That's out number 1. So Colorado wins the first period 2-1. Second period, Seattle takes second period 2-1. It's like, oh, okay. Things are kind of even. And then the 3 goals in the third period by the Avalanche. It's like lemon and salt and vinegar just in your wound. 6-4, the Kraken lose. They trail in the series. Why would you not let Armstrong finish this game? That's stupid. 2 outs. That's a stupid decision by the Spiders. Tied it up and then they went to sleep. You know, they looked at number 3. There it is, folks. The Spiders win. The Seattle Kraken looked a little disheveled, I will say. The first period, first off, every 2 minutes there was a penalty, which was kind of ridiculous. Like, yeah, holy crap, the Spiders won. Yes, they did. Every 2 minutes there's a penalty, which was ridiculous. Like, there's so many penalties in that game. All right, let's take a look at the lines here, and then we'll talk about the Kraken. 1-3-0 to 6-8-0. Of course, that big 4 spot at the bottom of the third sealed the deal here for the Spiders. 9 strikeouts for the Gamblers, 8 strikeouts for the Spiders. But of course, the big hits from Davila, that's 3 RBI double, and then of course the home run. And not a lot of hitting, not a lot of scoring on the Gamblers' side. Peralta gets the loss. Armstrong, of course, gets the win. Good on him. And Killer Holmes, up there he is. Armstrong and Davila. And the Spiders take the first game of this 7-game set. So, let's take a look at where things are before I go in a rant about the Seattle Kraken. So, first games of these 7-game sets are done. Obviously, like I said earlier at the start, Gotham's over the Manchego Mechanics here, 1-0. Edam Emeralds over the Pepperjack Pipers, 1-0. And we just saw the Cherubs win over the Giants and the Spiders win over the Gamblers. We'll be back with more fake baseball action on Wednesday around 7 o'clock. That's what our schedule says on Twitch that I just updated. Of course, we're going to do Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays around 7 o'clock for all of these fun games. Might push it back to maybe 8 o'clock. I don't know. Probably not back to 8 o'clock. Probably always stick with 7 o'clock. Just got to remember to get all my chores done. As I was saying, 7 o'clock, I'm like, oh shoot, sometimes I don't water the garden until like 7 o'clock, but I'll work around it. Anyhoozle. Yes, so that's how the first games of this end of the tournament line up. So let's just talk about Seattle Kraken here quick. Seattle Kraken, the defense again failed them. I will say, I felt like Carson Soucy somebody needs to sit him down and just needs to say, dude, just like chill out. Just chill out. Because I feel like every single time something good happens or like they're making a run, then Soucy comes out on defense and does something stupid. And it's just annoying. Donato was surprisingly physical too. Donato really hasn't done much this year for the Kraken. Eberle has kind of been, I don't know, Ebbs has kind of been a no-show the past couple of games. Yeah, Soucy's always good for that, yeah. And I'm saying Eberle's been kind of a no-show past, I'm saying maybe like the past 5-6 games, regular season games. He's kind of been quiet, honestly. But this whole Kraken team's really been quiet. The regular goal scorers, your McCanns, your Beniers, your Eberle, they haven't really been doing it. It's been these other guys that have been stepping up, which is great, and we could use that. So I like that. I like that these other guys are stepping up. But you can't give up penalties. You can't give up stupid penalties like hooking. I think who the heck was it with hooking last night? Which I think it was kind of a BS call, but it was Rakowski or somebody. But yeah, I don't know. They just the defense looked sloppy, and the one guy I always watch in defense just because I know how good of a defender he is, Vince Dunn. Vince Dunn even kind of looked a little all over the place. He had this look about him last night, like, man, what are we doing on defense? Because I feel like Dunn kind of leads the defense along, and he's done that all season. There's one I definitely see it. Yeah, I think it was the hooking. There's a hooking call in the first period. Might have been tripping. There's hooking or tripping. Yes. Dunn definitely looked like he did in season 1. He looked kind of lost out there. But I don't blame Dunn for that. I blame the other guys. I feel like defense was just kind of all over the place. One guy I will say who's really, really impressed me thus far in the playoffs is two guys, I guess. Tanev really, really impressed me in the playoffs. Tanev has been amazing. He's out there. He's hustling. I like it. And, shout out to Gruby. Grubauer he's doing the best that he can with a defense that has been really, really piss poor this past couple of games. So we're back in Seattle on Monday night, tomorrow night. So we got to win tomorrow night. At least win one at home. Because if you win one at home, you go back to Colorado for games 6 and 7, and we just have to win one at home. Games 6 and 7 away, we are a much better team when we're playing away, for whatever reason. So that's kind of the game plan. I'm mad that they lost, and I'm mad at the way that they lost, because this is, the team that played and won game 1 was definitely not the team that showed up last night. So if we can win tomorrow, I'm okay if we lose on Wednesday. But then, you know, come Friday, when we're back in Colorado, let's freaking go. Let's win that. Let's win those last couple games, and let's move on. Some of these other games have been wild too. We're freaking hockey broadcast now, all of a sudden. But some of these other games have been wild. The Tampa Bay Lightning and Toronto Maple Leaf series is one I'm going to watch because there's about 9,000 fights in that. And that was just a wild game. So, yeah. Anywho, I can talk about hockey all night, apparently. I can talk about baseball all night, but I'm not going to. I'm going to end the broadcast right here while I can. All right, folks, that is it. I will be back on Wednesday for some more fake baseball action here on Twitch. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much, and please subscribe to us on YouTube. Of course, these games will be thrown up on our YouTube page as well, so you can go back and watch them all over again if you want to, or you can catch up. It's the best place to follow us. All right, folks, as always, geek_cheese on Twitter. That's where we put out announcements. Follow us on TikTok as well. At some point, I'm probably going to do something on TikTok. Probably, maybe not. Who knows? But anyway, we will check you guys on Wednesday. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for watching. And we will see you next time. Later. Have a good night. Bye.